Welcome, everybody, to the April 26th meeting of Henderson County Fiscal Court. We're glad you're with us. If you're watching online, we're glad you're with us as well. We will start, as we usually do, with an invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you would please stand with me. Dear Heavenly Father, please watch over our community as we make decisions for the betterment of our citizens. Please watch over our healthcare providers and men and women in uniform, both here and abroad. Please watch over our farmers as they move around during this very important part of the year for them, and keep everybody safe. We ask these things in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Magistrate Southern?
Here.
Magistrate Tompkins?
Oh, right here.
Let me get my phone. Magistrate Putman?
Here.
Magistrate Berry?
Here.
Magistrate Starks is absent.
Because this is a special called meeting, it has to be handled slightly differently. We won't be approving minutes until the next regularly scheduled meeting. I will ask that all the magistrates make sure that we stick to the items on the agenda. That's another rule around special called meetings. But I do appreciate the flexibility of this week, considering the scheduling conflicts we had to get this work done and get us back on track. So with that, our Judges Scholar, Alyssa McElvain from Henderson County High School, is with us. Again, thank you for postponing this for a few days to help us out. I'll ask Alyssa to join me right up here at the dais. Alyssa, we're going to read a special proclamation in the law.
Whereas Alyssa McElvain has been chosen by Henderson County High School to be the recipient of the Judges Scholar Award for exceptional efforts in both academics and school activities, and whereas Alyssa's hard work and dedication in making the most of educational experiences and developing positive relationships with teachers and other students will lead to future success, and whereas success is measured in many different ways, whether it be passing a test, scoring a winning point, achieving a particular goal, or taking the necessary steps for overall improvement, and whereas the Henderson County school system could not let Alyssa's efforts go unnoticed, and whereas the Henderson County Fiscal Court supports the school system and acknowledges these accomplishments as being significant because students such as Alyssa McElvain will be our future leaders. And now, therefore, I, Brad Schneider, County Judge Executive of Henderson, join with the Henderson County Fiscal Court to proclaim today, April 26, 2024, as Alyssa McElvain Day here in Henderson County.
If you'd like to take a picture of us. Yeah, if you come up, Dad, come up, and then somebody would pop in there, take the principal's Really easy thing. Thank you. This is Kyle Evans. He may give you a little play-by-play. Congratulations, Alyssa. I know your school and your family is very proud. And I must say, it's a little disconcerting to have somebody so tall hanging over my shoulder. Usually it's a third grader who's a little easier, but it's all right. Congratulations. Glad you're here. Okay, next we are honored to have Tourist Commission Director Abby Dixon with us. And if you'd like to come on and give an update and also introduce your colleague.
born and raised in Henderson, graduated from UK, and we were so excited that she wanted to come back home and that we were able to snatch her up. So, Ellie, do you want to say anything?
Very nice to meet you all, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all.
Now, are you Mark's daughter?
Yeah.
Okay, so, once
Don't
again, a
hold it
family
against her.
member of mine here, back in town. I married a Blandford, which means I am related to half the county. So I'm always glad to see members of our family come back and go to work. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I have been learning more about Ellie's family since she started, and every day I think I learn about a new cousin. So
So
she's
do I.
definitely Henderson County. Ellie's really just fit right in. She's a fantastic addition to our team. So thank you all for welcoming her. So it's been a while since I was here just to provide an update. And, whenever I look at the projects that are on my desk right now, there's just a lot of really good stuff. And I want to make sure that you all are aware of some of the good things that we have going on, and that you can kind of celebrate with us and join in. Before I start on kind of my formal presentation, we've been talking about the eclipse for years now, and it takes about 30, 45 days for us to get all of the data that we're looking for back in. But I can tell you, based on hotel occupancy, the Sunday night before the eclipse, so April 7th, hotel occupancy was up 166% over the average of the previous 4 Sundays. And then if you look at that same formula for Monday night, it's up 58%. So I'm not sure what you all were doing on Eclipse Day. There were events all around the county, but I definitely felt the energy and the good vibes from our visitors. I hope y'all did too, and those numbers just show it. I think we saw a really positive economic impact in our county over that 48-hour period. And we know that whenever folks come to Henderson County, they always love to come back. We had a group of sisters from Michigan who came through our Welcome Center and said, we take a sister trip every year, and we've already decided we're going to spend a long weekend in Henderson next year. So that was pretty cool. Tourism in action. So, life lately at the Henderson Tourist Commission. Hopefully, it works. So, as you all are familiar with, really, it doesn't seem this long, but we are going on close to a decade ago. We went through the community branding process. So we were already using that feather inspired by Audubon, but this is where we came up with the Discover Your Nature tagline. I think this has been so well received in our community. The county, Judge always has on his logo wear. But I think it's always good to keep things fresh. We know we have a strong brand. We just wanted to freshen it up. So I wanted to share with you all a few things that we've been working on. This is your condensed version of a branding guide that you can flip through just for some good visuals. So this is not a brand overhaul by any means. Basically what we've done, we've updated that scripty font. Scripty fonts are usually the first style of fonts that kind of date themselves. So we updated that to be a little bit more, I'm going to call it handcrafted. So just to modernize things a little bit. And then we added a few colors to our palette. So still using that tried and true green, the warm gray, those key colors that we use in our branding. And this is probably something that's more relevant for tourism marketing. But whenever we're talking about, a vibrant destination, we wanted to add some more color options. So you can see that color palette. This was derived from the Sunset District branding that we worked with the city on a year or two ago. So, we know that in Henderson County, all of our tourist attractions, events, everything that we do, life in Henderson County, we have nature as the backdrop. So these colors are representative of the colors that we see in those fabulous Henderson County sunsets, so that's where those colors came from. I'll just let you all kind of flip through the branding guide on your own. You can see some examples of how we could use the branding. We're excited about the repeat pattern options just to add some dimension. Those are all really organic patterns that are found in nature. Excited about that. And I love when we talk about our brand attitude. We want folks that are thinking about Henderson County to think of us as a spirited, fun, lively, and welcoming place to visit and to live too. I love every single one of those pictures. I mean, nothing says fun like one of those crazy milkshakes from the dairy at, and nothing says hospitality like Hubert and Katie there at Farmer Infringement. And so excited about the new branding. Wanted to show y'all some examples of how you're already seeing maybe this color palette or just the inspiration from our branding in the community. So Butterfly Alley, you all can see this on your screens, right? Okay, good. Butterfly Alley, that is next to Butler's Apothecary. So that's a mural design that uses colors from this palette. It's always fun to see on social media how people are interacting and sharing their photos. And then that's a great example of how the Sunset District branding really came together for the city last year. These are actual print ads that have gone out that you may have come across in a magazine. So you can see kind of what that branding looks like, from just a general Henderson brand awareness campaign to an ad that we were running to encourage folks to come here for the eclipse. On that note, I'm going to pause. Are there any questions on this?
No, I like the adjustments. I like the updating very much.
Me too. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to show you all next. I think it's next. A commercial that has not launched yet, so you're kind of getting a little bit of a sneak peek. So this is launching this summer, but I think it really captures that spirited, fun, lively, welcoming, and will really get our visitors' attention. This is one of those, it's 30 seconds if you can believe it. It's one of those like you want to just watch it a few more times so you can see where all that little bird flies. So this is again, launching this summer, so it'll be all across the internet from YouTube, social media. We're streaming it, really focused on our target audience. So this is going to be in front of a lot of people, and we're really excited to be able to do something so creative. Animation was new, but I think it turned out pretty well. So just as a reminder of where we are on social media, because I think obviously our target audience is visitors, but it's a great resource for our locals to have too. We're on Instagram at Tour Henderson Kentucky, KY. We're on Facebook at Tour Henderson KY. And when Ellie came on board in January, nothing has made me feel older than TikTok. I don't know about you all, but I keep hearing about how people are using TikTok the way I use Google. It's where, especially the younger generation, is finding so much of their information. And so I knew that we were missing out on communicating our message to a huge group of people by not being on TikTok. So Ellie has started a TikTok account. It's growing every day. And I wanted to show you all just a few examples of the kind of content you could see on TikTok. I have not really been sucked in yet, but it's short form video, really casual, things that go viral very quickly. So Brent, if you could just play all three of those. We went on a field trip to the sloughs a couple of weeks ago and saw a bald eagle, which was really cool. So you'll see that there. And then the last one, you can go ahead and play it. So what we found, when people come to Kentucky, they think we have bourbon on every corner. And they're disappointed whenever we're not, giving them tours at the Welcome Center. So as we patiently await the opening of Henderson Distilling Company, we're trying to showcase the bourbon experiences that we can offer for guests. If you haven't been to Cap and Cork, it's phenomenal. I think there's a pour that costs almost $700. So who knows? Could be you. As far as earned media goes, so this is where we're focusing on pitching stories, getting the word out about what we have going on without paying a dime to get that coverage. So these are just a few examples lately. Of course, there was coverage everywhere about the eclipse. This was just a screenshot from the Herald Leader out of Lexington. Southern Living. So hopefully you guys have seen this. We are on the top 10 list for best small towns in Kentucky. We're number 8. I think it was a misprint. I think we should be number 1. But we were so excited to see that. You know, Southern Living is a staple publication for folks who are planning trips around this region of the country. So to be in print there is pretty cool. Thomason's Barbecue was actually named the number 2 barbecue restaurant. So if you see the folks at Thomason's, tell them congratulations for sure. And this is a Kentucky tourism publication, so this spotlights our entire region. But what I think is cool about this, you know, not only are we that main picture with our riverfront fountains, but if you look on the collage on the next page, you'll see some familiar faces too from around Henderson County. So pretty cool there. Then working with influencers. So the way that folks are planning trips has changed. A lot of folks are looking at taking more frequent, shorter trips closer to home, little road trips 3-4 hours away, and we think we really fit the bill for that for a lot of people. So these are just a couple of the influencers that we've continued relationships with. This is Adventure Mom, who is out of Cincinnati, and JCP Eats, who is a food blogger out of Louisville. Okay, and another new way of utilizing technology, and you can, if you have an Apple phone, so an iPhone, you can do this like in real time. If you go to Apple Maps and you search Henderson, it'll give you the option to click on guides. So we have 4 Apple Maps guides. These are just screenshots. There's a lot more that you can do if you're doing it on your own, of course. But we've curated itineraries or trip inspiration for folks who are already coming to Henderson. Maybe it's for business and they're just plugging that city into their GPS so they can get here. We want them to not just go back to their hotel room or just turn around and go home. We want them to bring, you know, their families. We want them to experience our whole county, spend dollars in our community. So these are some of the ways that we're reaching that low-hanging fruit. We know they're coming here. Let's get them to do as much as possible while they're here. And we've launched a podcast. So Ellie has been fantastic with this. Honestly, I was watching YouTubes like every night trying to figure out how to do this, and she comes in and she's like, yeah, I know how to do that. So that's been really great. So typically our target audience is visitors. This one's a little different. So we really hope that our locals engage with the podcast. We know that in this day and age, it is so easy to go on social media and talk about all of the things that you love. It's also easy to talk about all of the things that you don't love. So if we can engage with our community, shed light on the wonderful things that make Henderson a great destination, we think we can reach more people organically. Word of mouth is amazing. So this is kind of an educational piece for our community, and we're having a lot of fun with it. We're 3 episodes in, so tune in. It's fun. You'll get a few laughs at least, maybe learn something. Okay, so moving on to some specialty campaigns and collaborations we have going on right now. So Henderson is home to, a few years ago it was only 3, but now it's really grown to 5 amazing music festivals in the summer. So they're all really unique and have their own personality, which creates an interesting challenge for a marketer to figure out how to package these festivals all together and sell them kind of as one. It's smart for budget and smart for recapturing guests that are interested in something else to come back and have another experience. So the Songs of Summer campaign was born. So we are promoting Summerfest, Porchfest, Handy, Songwriters, and Bluegrass all together as one experience. This is a campaign that we're hitting from all angles. Print ads that are kind of inspired by like a old school music festival poster. Digital ads, so you can see this is on Cosmopolitan. So chances are this is someone who had Googled music festivals in Kentucky this summer. So this ad will follow them around the internet. It clicks through to our website with that full lineup of information. Then another example, the Kentucky Tourism e-newsletter reaches about 120,000 opt-in subscribers. So one of those was specifically on a summer music festival in Henderson.
I really like this. I really like the packaging of this. all summer long. I mean, I've gotten several of these.
Yeah.
And I think it's genius, and it because we do have a full summer lineup.
It's amazing.
It developed into all these festivals in the summertime. I think it's a great way to get people who do travel for music festivals to understand we have a lot of options all summer long. Good job.
Well, Ellie and I are really a good team. I think you're seeing this in action right now, so thank you. And 4 of these festivals are free.
Free.
Songwriters is not, but it's like $20 a session. So I think we're going to recapture like the Coachella crowd. They're going to ditch California and come to Henderson.
Coachella's dead.
And then we edited footage from all of our festivals that we've captured last year to create a 15-second commercial. So Brett. So we launched this during March Madness. Unfortunately, we probably lost out on a lot of Kentucky fans seeing it. But this is, again, it's on YouTube. It's all over the internet on pre-roll, streaming on platforms where you watch your smart TVs. So we're hitting it from all angles. And I just wanted, these are just a few screenshots. I wanted y'all to see, you know, the creative part of these campaigns is a ton of fun. But it's all data-driven. You know, we've got to make sure that we're hitting our target demographics. We know where our visitors are coming from, so we want more of those folks. And then we can experiment with some other pockets, like Chicago, for example, you can see on the map. So one thing that we've done that's been pretty cool with this campaign, we've researched, you know, where are some of these concerts or events happening now? For example, if there's a bluegrass concert at Rupp Arena. We've geofenced Rupp Arena on that night during that time frame so that the people at that concert will be served these ads. Just kind of a smarter way to make sure that we're reaching the right people who are most interested in actually making the decision to come. Okay, so moving on to another really cool collaboration. And this is, again, this is not launched yet. It's coming out mid-May. The barbecue belt. So in West Kentucky, we know that barbecue is such an important part of our culture and our heritage. Kansas City is capitalized on barbecue, Memphis. It's time that we put our part of the state on the map with this too. So I've worked really closely with my counterpart in Hopkins County, and we have rallied 12 tourism offices to come together. We applied for a grant from the state, got $165,000 to launch a pretty major PR campaign. So West Kentucky Barbecue Belt, 45 barbecue joints on this trail. There's a pretty cool technology piece where you can sign up for basically a digital pass, check in with location services on your phone. You earn points every time you visit a restaurant. I always say, you know, if you go to all 45, you might have a heart attack, but we'll send you a T-shirt. So we're excited to launch this. Billboards go up May 6th, and then the full PR campaign will launch shortly after. Now, I wanted to show y'all an example. We've done a lot of great video work with this. This is just another example of a video campaign, and this one's cool. All of this was shot at Thomason's. So out of 45 restaurants, we're able to do that here at Henderson. Brought in a food stylist. We've never had the opportunity to do if we didn't have this grant, it wouldn't happen. Pretty cool. Okay, so this is the third and final campaign that's really unique and outside of the box. So we're always challenged to think outside of the box. Another example of getting a grant, actually it was through ARPA funds, to work together with other tourism offices. So the Great Big Kentucky Adventure. Okay, so I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I dream of going to Disney, but it's also going to take a lot of money to take our family to Disney. And unfortunately, travel has gotten so expensive, even Disney is outpricing a lot of families on that type of a trip. So we want to reach families who are still looking to make those summer memories with their kids, traveling, but we can show them that you can have a lot of fun in Kentucky. You're not going to break the bank. It might be closer to home, so easier to get to. And you'll have a lot of fun. So what's the best way to encourage family travel? by reaching those kids, we want the kids to say, Mom, Dad, maybe we should check out Kentucky. Maybe we should go on this road trip. So we developed an actual 16-bit video game. Okay, the next slide is a video. It's me playing the game. It's painful to watch because I'm so bad at it. But you guys can go ahead and... honestly, I get like unreasonably mad whenever I lose or die. But the kid is the main character. Yeah, it doesn't take long. The kid is the main character. The premise of the game is he's fighting boredom on this great big Kentucky adventure. Obviously, he's at Audubon State Park right now. So it's, as parents, we're always paying attention to, is my kid getting too much screen time? But I can always justify it whenever I feel like my kid's learning something, right? So this game is going to reach the Dixon household hot and heavy, I'm sure. So, the goal is to engage with those kids, engage with the parents, and give everybody an experience that they can really look forward to.
Actually, you're not doing too bad here.
I'm getting better. So we've contracted with an influencer out of Lexington, who I believe is 9 years old. Her name is Zaza. She has over 1 million followers on Instagram, her own YouTube channel. It's nuts. I've done something wrong. But she is kind of our poster child for going on this great big Kentucky adventure. So again, we want to reach these kids. We want them to be excited about Kentucky. So this is a pretty cool way to do it, definitely outside of the box. Okay, and then finally, supporting and managing our destination. So just wanted to update you all on some of the things that we're doing that aren't necessarily marketing campaigns. Advocacy in Frankfurt, of course, this is important to us every year. Won't spend too much time on this, but I'll say I was really proud to be a part of the team of folks that helped advocate for the conference center to get those funds. Obviously, it's still a long road ahead, but excited to see where that goes. Celebration of travel, tourism, and hospitality. So this photo is from last May, and I want you all to take a look at your invitation that hopefully you grabbed this morning. So we're doing this again for year 2. This is during National Travel and Tourism Week. We are inviting our frontline staff, the folks that are interacting with guests every day, hotel front desk workers, servers at restaurants, baristas, etc. And we want to honor some of those real stars of the industry, the ones that are going above and beyond to make sure our guests feel that hospitality here in Henderson. So May 22nd, 8:30 a.m., we're going to honor 6 hospitality heroes. We will have Mike Manjit, who is our state tourism commissioner, deliver some remarks, his thoughts on tourism across the state and how it impacts us here in Henderson County too. So please join us. It's free. You don't have to RSVP. Just show up. It was a really uplifting morning last year. And then our community grants. So we were able to give out about $25,000 in grants last year to the events and the programs that we know are bringing visitors in. So this specifically was Bluegrass in the Park. We provided $2,500 in sponsorship last year. So we'll be doing that again on June 1st. And with that, I just want to say thank you all for everything you do for our county, everything you do to support Henderson County as a destination. And if you all have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I want to reiterate, tourism is a huge part of our local economy. I think I've heard the term $10 or $11 million a year turning over from tourism visitors. Is that probably low?
84 million.
84 million, yeah. I knew I thought, as soon as it came out of my mouth, I thought I'm way off here. The other component of this in my mind is there's so many communities now who their economic development focus is quality of place. As we try to tackle workforce issues, getting people to want to move here, bring their talents here. Communities across the country have that same challenge, and many of them are turning to quality of place aspects of their community because you got to develop communities people want to live in. And many of these tourist attractions, for want of a better term, are also reasons for local people to be proud and for local people to have fun. You know, our downtown food scene is exploded, and of course visitors feed a lot of that day-to-day revenue for them, but local folks also are a huge part of that. And so to see a downtown the way it is now, not only is a great brand, a great first impression. The Eclipse visitor is a great example, who said so many things about our downtown. But it also makes it a lot easier not to have to feel like you have to go across the river to have a good meal or see cool things. And so I want you to know your work not only affects the chances that people will come visit us, but it also makes life better for Henderson County. So,
Thank you.
and this is all very cool. I think it's another illustration that we don't have to go outside the community every time to get very sophisticated marketing. You all do it yourself, and you do it great. And I appreciate that.
I'll give you a stat, Judge. Here in Kentucky, we did a resident sentiment survey last year, and 73% of Kentuckians said that whenever they see their local tourism marketing, they feel better about the place where they live. And that actually gives me chills, because I think that's so important that all of our residents feel great about where they live. So really proud of that.
You know, Abby, after watching all the videos and everything, and just getting over the COVID, that whole epidemic, and how everything slowed down, this is great. You know, where you brought it to, since then. So good job. Yeah.
Thank you. Proud of what we do, and I appreciate all of your support.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming and visiting.
Yes.
Okay, we had a bid recommendation for tree removal along our roads. And for those of you who might not have followed this conversation, one of the biggest challenges we have of road safety is trees along our roads, because one of the biggest indicators of serious injuries in a single vehicle accident are whether they hit a tree or not. We have a lot of trees. So Nick Stallings, our county engineer, give us a recommendation on the tree removal bids.
Yep, and what a person to follow, somebody talking about nature.
We want to cut down trees.
Somebody wants to take it down. Well, why don't we call it vegetation management? That sounds better, right? Or because you can't see the forest without the, because of the trees. So I'm looking for the trees to see the forest. All right. We had bid openings. We had two different contractors. One, Schwartz Mowing Incorporated out of Olympia, Kentucky. They gave us their bids pricing wise, and Michael's Tree Service out of Henderson, Kentucky also submitted bids. And if I don't have to, or if I have to go through all the numbers, is that?
I think for the record, it might be good.
Okay. So what I did to make it easier, competitive for the contractor and safe on the county taxpayers, is I broke this up by tree size. Typically, tree size is what a contractor who's cut out a tree will determine the price. And instead of making each one obviously individual, we kind of set it up as per tree how it would be. So anything up to 12 inch per tree. Michael's Tree Service bid at $50 per tree. Schwartz bid at $400. So trees from 13 inch to 24 inch is $100 for Michael Tree Service. Schwartz bid at $809. So trees from 25 inch to 36 inch, which is standard tree that we typically cut down, Michael's did $150 per tree. Schwartz did $1,800 per tree. 37 inch to 48 inch, that's one of our largest trees that we cut. Michael's did $200 per tree. Schwartz Mowing did $3,950 per tree. And any tree 48 inches or larger, which we have had a few of those that we cut down. Michael's Tree Service bid at $400 per tree. Schwartz Mowing did $4,800 per tree. So what I also did was do a mercy fee. We got trees that need to come down. We've got a certain time frame they got to come down. I mean, most of them has been there for decades, so we give them a week to get their schedule set up so they can knock down the tree and not change up their schedule, but still get the tree down. We also have trees that get damaged throughout windstorms, through storms we have. Some just fall, some just crack. Some becomes a nuisance to the public that we need to get down quicker because it's a hazard to the traveling public. So what I did was I put in a mercy fee. What that means is we will tack that on to contractors' pay if they got to cut the tree within 24 hours. That's a pretty quick turnaround for some of these tree contractors, and especially if we got anybody out of the state that was bidding. We'll let them turn around and be able to get a crew on ground in 24 hours, get a tree that's removed that needs to be removed quickly. we tied on a emergency feed tree per tree. So if they come out and have to cut out a tree down, and if we give them 24 hours to cut it, we, Michael's Tree Service bid at $500 for the emergency fee, and Swartz Mowing bid at $300 per tree. We also have overhead utility problems. Okay, some of these, as you well know, a lot of the utility people have trees that cut, have tree contractors that keep their lines free. Well, what that does is that maintains a certain boundary around the line. If we got a tree that's on our right of way, but it's close enough to a line that has not been carved out by the utility, it's still a possibility of the contractor coming in contact with that line, or having to make special arrangements to have the utility booted, or special arrangements even have the utility line dropped while they cut these trees. That is what we put in the contractor hands to make sure all of that recommendations was done. So what we did was we add a overhead utility fee if we happen to have something that we look on a site visit, he says, I think that's a problem, or a contractor thinks that's a problem, we put that fee on top of the tree. So Michael's Tree Service bid at $300 for the overhead utility charge, and then Swartz bid at $495 per tree. Now that's 5% of trees we cut. All right, it's not a big deal. Same with the emergency trees. A lot of times we have a systematic approach to removing these trees. It needs to go as we have funds available. So it's typically, we're not going to have an emergency tree every single time. This is maybe one in 100 we cut, or 1 in 50 we cut. Same thing with the overhead utilities. Most of the time they have been removed over the years by the utility company or by us as we go through, but there still has an opportunity to get into a utility. So we wanted to make sure the contractor was protected as a separate charge, so he's not putting this thought of a utility being every single tree thrown into every tree we cut, when a tree could be easy to cut, get out of the way, gone. We don't have the manpower or the time to do it. They do, then come and cut the tree, take it away and move it. The biggest thing is we put on this contract was the contractor cuts the tree and takes the tree with them. So it is nothing for the Department of Roads to have to do anything with. We mark the tree, they cut it, gone. So my recommendation is, obviously by the numbers, is Michael's Tree Service. They're a local outfit. Quick reaction time. They've cut a few of our trees over the past 4 or 5 months, and we definitely have a need to cross that threshold of $40,000, which is the requirement to go out for bid. So we've got $500,000 of trees we could cut. Obviously, we got to be good stewards of taxpayers' money, so we will start marking down the trees that need to be removed for clear zone distances and clear zone infractions, or outside of curves, and systematically remove those trees.
Yeah.
Long story short, Michael's Tree Service is who I recommend.
So here's my question. How do we go from outrageous to unreasonable? Michael's Tree Service, I don't know how he does it for that cheap and does it the right way. Insurance, yeah, I mean, that's just, I'm not in the tree cutting business, but I've cut enough in my lifetime to know that you can't cut those trees and take them to the landfill, because, my family's company has enough landfill fees that you can't cut those trees, pay insurance, be bonded and all that stuff safely for that kind of money. I mean, that's just not, that's not feasible. Yeah, how?
He has been cutting, and some trees that he's done before has been 1,000. Some trees he's done for 700. Some trees he's done for 600. What he does is he takes all the trees, he cuts them. It's a husband and wife, mate, and I guess kids. I mean, I'm talking about little kids. I'm talking about adults who works for them. They come out there and they cut the trees. They got a tractor that loads up the trees. They got dump trailers that load the trees up in. They cut the trees for firewood or log.
So we verified, bonded, insured.
He is
everything.
bonded, insured. He's got all that. He's got his.
As long as we're covered, that's all I care about.
And that's what we did before we started using him as picking out trees as we go. We called a few different companies to give a couple of bids up front for 4 or 5 trees along the road. He came in substantially cheaper than the other contractors. So what we did was we made sure he was licensed and bonded and had a business license with with Allison
As
down the
long as they
hall.
don't pose a public safety by not knowing what they're doing.
I mean,
and-
he's cut at least 10 or 12 as we sit right now, and there's
Yep.
never been an option. So
Okay.
he leaves around, a foot or 2 foot of the stump, which is pretty typical. We got a stump grinder on our Bobcat that once we have 3 or 4 or 5 that we can get taken out, we come there, we grind the stumps, and we move on. So
Yep.
So do we have a price, or do we have a set, how low he has to cut it, or,
yeah,
how much
I mean,
stump he
he
leaves?
usually keeps it at like 2 foot. Wherever, obviously when the root ball becomes too large for a 36-inch saw to get across, then that's where he ends it. But I didn't put that as a standard. But common sense, we won't keep a 4-foot stump. You know what I mean?
Right, that's why I'm asking.
No, and that would obviously be hey, we can't do this, and we need to rebid. And I will make that I didn't make that a
Apparently unicorns
bidding
do
point.
exist.
But again, that's something that's common sense says, we're not going to have a tree that,
There we go.
let that high.
Cheap enough.
So way this bid works is this will be a per calendar year bid. I know we're already in April, so this will continue throughout until December, and then we'll just wrap this in. I know there was some discussion on that earlier, but we'll wrap this up and tie it in with rock and some of my material bids the first of the year.
That's not the way.
So obviously, the bids are always kind of hesitant on what you can bid, what you can't bid. Now this kind of puts a light on it. Maybe he'll see, wow, it was way too low, and we may not obviously won't get these prices next year. So there's so I get it. Maybe overhead is completely
Hey.
cheap to where it.
2 things I care about. If he's legal, bonded, and he's not posing a public safety threat when he's cutting these trees, the rest of it's his business.
We're not complaining about it.
Yeah. Just making sure that everything's on the up and up. That's all I was asking.
I've checked all with him. He sent me all the documentation back when he was cutting, February, March timeframe.
There we go.
One clarification, we did bid this as a 1-year contract. So we will be entering into a 12-month contract, according to the bid spec.
So this bid spec was for a year. It didn't say calendar year.
No, it's per year.
But that's okay. I mean, I think, based on some of the statements made, they have a year to show the ability to do what they say they will. And
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm fine with that. And if we want, the next time we bid it out, if we want to adjust that, we can.
Fine, we do.
Any
Thanks,
other-
Nick.
Any other questions?
Do we need to vote on it?
Yeah, we need to vote to accept that recommendation.
I move to accept the recommendation.
There's a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thanks. Next, we've had discussions about this before, I believe, and the need for animal control to have a larger truck to handle a larger dog box, quote unquote, and be able to do their work more efficiently. They were able to identify a truck here at a local dealership for less than $40,000. They have an existing 2019 truck that was not meeting their needs, and at the same time, we realized that our occupational tax administrator was going to need a dependable vehicle. And so these 2 things kind of aligned, and I have a suggestion that we go ahead and purchase the larger vehicle, the larger truck, for animal control purposes only. The Humane Society, under this proposal, would own the truck, insure the truck, maintain the truck, but because we are granting them the money to buy the truck, they would only use it for animal control purposes. They would donate the existing truck that they have to us for our use, primarily with occupational tax administrator travel in the county. And because the city basically splits the cost of animal control with us, and they would not be getting any value out of the small vehicle, the smaller truck, because we'd be utilizing it, I think we should probably do what's right if we're going to take the smaller truck and go ahead and buy outright the bigger truck. I have talked with Buzzy Newman at the city about splitting the cost of the new dog box that would be installed in the truck, and they were very agreeable to that. As well, I talked to the mayor about that as well, and they agreed that that was probably doable. It will be a while before they can order the new dog box because they have to get the dimensions on the new truck. But I think this helps animal control, and when it comes to buying the dog box, we can check back with the county attorney's office and get that agreement in place.
Just for clarification, Judge, I know you said purchasing, we would be granting them the funds for them to purchase.
Right.
And maintain, the county would not be purchasing the new vehicle.
Correct. Correct, yeah. So, we have a resolution in your packet to this effect, but I'd obviously open this up to any questions or debate or discussion.
The old box doesn't fit the new vehicle.
And it's very small. It's extremely small, too small for what they need. So we have a resolution, and if you'd like the clerk to read it all, he will.
Summary would be good.
Summary always gets my vote.
Summary would be fine.
So you can read the summary.
A resolution approving an agreement with the Humane Society of Henderson County Incorporated regarding the provision of grant funding to assist with the acquisition of a new animal control vehicle.
Entertain a motion to approve that.
So move.
We have a motion and a second. To clarify, we have worked with county attorney's office to come up with an agreement with the animal control office to make sure they understand they maintain it, insure it, the new truck. They are responsible for it and responsible for making sure it's used for animal control purposes only. Their chairman and director have agreed to that, and we will be executing that soon, obviously with the passage of this resolution. Any other questions?
So,
All those in favor say aye.
I don't see in the
I'm
resolution
sorry.
where it says that we're going to get the old truck.
Yes. In good condition, cleaned and detailed and serviced.
The
Says that in
resolution-
here?
The resolution just authorizes the county judge to sign the agreement.
Yeah.
The agreement's a separate document,
Yeah.
about 5 pages, and it's in that separate
Okay.
agreement itself.
Yes.
Thank you.
Deal.
So we can't get the city to pay for the dog box?
Uh,
I mean, we do 90% of
100%?
the work in the city.
I can take that to him.
Well, I mean,
Well,
we're
actually-
bearing the burden of several $1,000s. I understand we're getting a used truck to use for ours, but I mean, okay, even if you take the 19,000 off, it's a pretty significant gap between 19 and 38,000. We're absorbing that.
I can bring that to him.
Yeah, the dog box, I mean, we do the majority of the work in the city. I mean, dog box, I understand they're not exactly cheap, but at the same time, they're getting a pretty big benefit out of this too.
I don't disagree. I will take that to him when it gets to that
All right.
point. Any other questions?
And just for clarification, Judge, there's nothing in the agreement about the dog box, because
Yeah.
my understanding was it will happen next year in discussions.
Sure, absolutely. Now, I'm just trying to be reasonable here. I mean, you know, I'm all for doing, I agree, I think it's the right thing for us to purchase the truck, because we're definitely getting use of another one, but at the same time, the city gets a pretty big benefit out of that, because the majority of the work is city work.
Understand. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And with that, Melinda Whitlock, if you want to come up and give your animal control report. And introduce your guests.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
I wanted to bring the animal control officers up, just so you can meet everyone. This is Officer J.J. Moore. This is Officer Micah Marshall, Officer Jake Ashby.
Morning, guys.
We have we developed quite the team. We all agree in animal welfare and holding the law best as possible. And I just thought I should bring them, let you see them, let you meet them. If you have any questions for them, 'cause I'm sure they're anxious to get back to work.
Appreciate your service.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Very valuable, appreciate it.
We are trying to put together a good team for the county. As you can see, the next officer for a while, and Mike, he's young. But I think we're gonna have a good team for you guys. We're trying to do everything right. We're trying to be cordial to the public. We are being respectful. We're making all of our calls. We're doing our reports right, and we're charging people. We've got at least 4 neglect charges that we just picked up in the last 2 weeks. So we're gonna try to turn this stigma maybe around on animal control and show you guys that we are worth it. This team will be.
We would really appreciate that.
Yes.
And I think you've worked at it long enough now to know can be a thankless job. People are so emotional about animals and their pets that I know sometimes dealing with the public when it comes to these sorts of things is in some cases even more difficult than regular police work. So I thank you. It's great service to the community.
Just out of curiosity, since I think the leash law and all that's went in effect, that the city passed that ordinance, have y'all seen an uptick in, is it costing you any more work, is what I'm saying?
It is not, because most people that are walking their dogs down through town or in the city limits are on a leash, and the dog parks we're patrolling at least 3 or 4 times a week now. And we're mostly, right now, we're in a transitional phase, so we're just talking to people. We're telling them about the ordinances. We're, giving them a chance. And plus, also, when we come in contact with any dog, this crew asks for rabies shots within 10 days immediately. So nobody gets away with not showing proof of rabies if we see any dog. But I think within a couple, maybe 6 months, we'll be out. If they are, then you don't have an excuse. You should, I'm not here to tell you the law, you should know the laws too, when it comes to your animals. So I think we're in a transition right now. We're not out here getting them for leashes, but if there's any type of complaint or somebody that has anything, of course we will address it, and of course we will give them a chance, and if not, we'll be right in the city.
Educate the public. Educate the
Big
public.
part of it is educating us.
Right.
We don't want to be the guys out here, we want to be the guys helping people educate them, because some people are new pet owners, and some people don't know things, and 90% of this county owns pets, if not cows and horses and everything else. So we're going to do the best we can, and I think we got that team.
All right, appreciate it again.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
very much.
But you guys need us for anything, we'll be on our way.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You guys have anything else to add?
No, I think we are moving in the right direction. And a new truck would give us that standard to look more professional and uphold it, maintain it
Yes, sir.
with the public and for ourselves as well.
I don't think you guys might know the truck situation, but we have one truck that's a GMC that has a V6 in it. It's a 2015, and it has the dog box on the back that you guys see running around town. The other truck was just a Dodge, long wheelbase, 2-wheel drive truck. It's been the tires that you can try to take off. It's just that long wheelbase truck. It's a good truck, but it just don't fit us. And we had a dog box, a literally dog box, but you could only fit 2 dogs in. And if you ever took a call or anybody was on it, you'd have to call for backup to come bring the other truck, stuff like that. So, so we're gonna have that one little dog box in this new truck for however long it takes to get our big dog box, which we've averaged around $10,000 to $12,500. Look how much a new truck box would cost. So until we get that new truck box, it's going to be this big. And I thought also, I think that our old dog box, the big dog box, would fit on the new truck. It would go over. It might not look as snazzy as our new truck looks, but and then we got in time, if we got another truck with another new box, I think it would be super efficient for all of us. Later on in the run. But we'll show you what we got right now. We'll work what we have, and we appreciate you guys for definitely giving us this. And we'll treat it right.
Thank you all, and you also have in front of you the report. If anybody has any questions, you can throw it, Melinda. Looks like the money's hanging in there.
Yes, yes. Just over quarterly, we had 56 animals that were running at large, brought in as stray, and we had 36 of them returned, because I always like to report that we are getting returns back as people, realize that they're animals. Microchipping is a huge help. People that buy their city and county tags is a huge help. It's just an identifier on that animal so we can find the person.
Melinda, just tell me that website where you can buy your dog tag.
It is connected with our website.
Is it just Henderson County Animal Control?
Yes.
.com, something like that?
Actually, the Humane Society page and the Animal Control are linked together, so whether you click on one or the other, you'll get there.
Okay. They take Visa and all the...
Absolutely, yeah. You do have to send proof of your rabies with it.
Yeah. Just one more little tip. Did the city ever get even with your money that you're aware of?
Not that I'm aware of.
They're not going to fulfill?
To my understanding, it was before I was there, but my understanding, at least There were several months that they were in compliance, that the city did not feel they were in compliance. That was before me. We are in compliance now, and as long as they were.
Well, I knew that. I knew it was for your
Yeah,
time. I was
yeah.
just curious. All right. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
I just want to thank you all very much for all the support. It has been quite the adventure in taking over this as director. We still have a lot of work to do, but we do have a very bright future. So I very much appreciate it. You all have any questions for us before we leave?
Good job. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. You have in your packets, gentlemen, the sheriff's monthly reports, the normal reports. If you have any questions, I'm sure Sheriff Stauffer would answer them. Otherwise,
Judge,
entertain a motion to accept those.
I would move to accept it.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Renese Abner, County Clerk.
The best county clerk in the state of Kentucky.
Everybody knows that.
I think they do, Judge. I've been doing a lot of
Everybody-
Zooming. You know, a lot of county clerks are on there, and, you know, when you listen to the conversation, I'm telling you, you're amazing.
Well, thank you so much.
truly
Way to
are.
pump me up. I'm
No,
telling you.
you're amazing.
You're amazing. I just want to congratulate you, Alyssa. I mean, that is amazing for you. Congratulations, your day today. So that is fun. I'm so proud of you for that. And also the tourism presentation. Go, Abby. Awesome. And Ellie. I agree with the comment that, you know, it does make you feel proud whenever you see that about your town in such a, great presentation. I mean, it's amazing. Good job. So today I have the March totals and quarterly totals. Excess fees for March, $130,503.29. And the total is $194,665.84. And the quarterly, I have $327,679.25 in excess fees. And total remitted to the county for the quarter is $501,686.77. And that's, we're up $3,000 more than the same quarter for 2023.
Motion to accept those.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? One quick question before you go on to the next subject. I was at a
Yes.
meeting of judge executives yesterday, and there was concern about the late billing for boats and vehicles.
Boats went out.
Boats went out.
Boats went out. Transportation did have a problem with their mailing of April notices. So a lot of folks didn't get those until, some of them last week, late in the month, when they're used to getting those like 45 days ahead at least. So, there was a situation with the transportation not billing. Those don't come out locally. The transportation sends them out for the whole state. And I made a post about it, on Facebook and put it on our website, but
I'm sorry, I missed that. But
No.
It's not as big a problem for us because of the fee pool, but for those offices that support themselves only through their revenues, county clerk's offices, this is an issue because the payments will come in later.
Right.
Several clerk's offices are
Right.
borrowing money from their fiscal courts in order to make ends meet while these payments come in delayed.
yes.
And I quickly understood that we're not going to be in the same boat,
Right.
pardon the pun, but
Yeah. But no, the boat notices did go out. They
Yeah.
were mailed out, but.
so in remissions to the county possibly, there could be several, I don't know, much more money coming in right at the end, June.
Right, next month, when I do my report, it may be up a little due to the late notices going out, so.
Okay, so, thank you. Please go. Please move.
So you
Yeah,
think
but-
boat notices went out on time, or they just went out?
No, I think they went out on time. I mean, I received mine, I can say that, so. And have you not received yours?
No.
You haven't? Sorry about that.
Which it's.
But you don't have to wait for the notice. you can just come in and renew. We can find it for you.
Okay.
It'd be great if you had the KY number, but if you don't, we can find it. So you don't
That's
have to have the
number on the
notice
side
to
of the
pay
boat?
it.
The number on the side of the boat?
Yes, the
Okay.
KY, yeah,
I
KY
can get
number.
that. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Rini, I'm sorry. You done?
Just said thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
And you have a request of court.
Yes, I did.
Oh.
Oh, you have to vote on my report first.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Go ahead, Rini.
Okay, so I just wanted to bring this proposal to the court, and it's about increasing the election workers' pay. It hasn't been increased in 10 years, and their jobs are increasingly, I'll say, a little stressful because of just the climate, the political climate is it's a lot different than it was 10 years ago, I'll say, without getting into things. But I just think it's for what I'm asking, which is for a poll worker that works on election day, they normally would receive $160, and $130 of that is for working on election day, and $30 is for the school that they are required to attend in order to work. So $160 to $220, and that is broken down with the same $30 for coming to the training and $190 for election day. And then for the early voting poll workers, they actually get $100 currently per day for 3 days, and I'm asking for that to go up to $120 per day. And then the counting committee, which is the committee that it consists of 2 people, and they take in the mail-in ballots and actually compare the signatures with with our driver's license signatures and also your voter registration signatures and verify those and accept them or reject them. So that's their job. And they don't, it just depends on the election and the volume of mail-in ballots as to how many hours they work. It's generally not that long. I mean, maybe a day or 2 as far as hours go. So they come in several times, but it's not for very long, each time they come in. So I'm asking for, they are currently making $12.50 an hour. I'm asking that to go up to $14 per hour. And the election board members who are currently making $3,360 a year, I'm asking that to go up to $4,800 a year. And that kind of brings us in line with other counties that surround us. And like, for instance, Muhlenberg, their election workers make $200 for working the election. So does Webster. And then Hopkins is $250. So I'm kind of going in the middle there at $220. So that's, and also I wanted to point out that it's a yearly cost increase of $10,896, and that is based on 2 elections in the year, and also, it's already in my budget, so I wouldn't need a budget increase to do this.
I was going to point that out.
Proposal.
For this upcoming election and for next year, which only has one election.
One election.
We don't have to change her line item at all to accommodate this increase.
I think it makes it a little more attractive to people, that,
Right, yeah.
to get poll workers.
Yes.
Number one.
And they are valuable. I mean, we wouldn't have elections without these people. And even at this increase, it's not a competitive wage. It's, there's still some volunteerism there, and these people have hearts for the community and for elections and want to make sure they're, safe and secure. So
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Kyle Evans, pinch hitting for Steve Gold. Your payments?
Thank you, Judge. I have 7 checks to turn over to the county today. Reimbursement for health insurance, $9,846. Another check for health insurance reimbursement, $920. 2 checks for reimbursement of dental life, $522.05. $40.09, a reimbursement for Aflac, $161.84. Jail fees collected, $223.96, and interest in the amount of $122.08. Today's total for those 7 checks, $11,836.02, and year-to-date for the fiscal year, $171,392.62. And I will ask Ms. Alyssa to handle that $11,800 and pass that over to the county judge.
And as Steve Gold likes to joke, you just learned a lesson in adulting there, Alyssa. You get money and you turn it right over to the government immediately. That's the way it'll be the rest of your life, unfortunately.
Move to accept.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Because it's a special call meeting, we will not have good of the county, but we will take comments from our magistrates and county attorneys. So I'll turn it over to, I'm going to start with Magistrate Tompkins. Any comments for the court?
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, young lady. We're all very proud of you. I can tell you, it does me good to see people who start at a young age trying to be good leaders and doing things for the right reasons, you know. So to be selected out of the entire school, that's huge. You know, I mean, that doesn't mean you do it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of the week or whatever. So choosing to do the right thing every single day is going to set you on the path to do well throughout your life, because there's going to be a lot of days you don't want to. So very proud of you. Thank you for what you do. Continue to do what you do, and enjoy the day, because none of us have a day that's named after us for the county.
It's true. Thank you. Magistrate Barry.
At least I'm not behind Bill Starks this time. He covers everything, which is kind of handy. Congratulations, Alyssa. Where are you going to have lunch? That's what I always worry about. Cracker Barrel. There you go. The judge is, eat plenty. He'll take care of you. Yeah. But before you do that, there's a test on everything we talked about today. You got it? I'm teasing. I always say that. That's just my thing, you know.
She probably is.
She probably would, I'm sure, yeah. But congratulations to you. I know your family's proud of you, and so are we. And Nick, I know I worry you a lot, but thank you for listening. Glad everybody's here. Everybody's doing a good job. Thanks to all the other magistrates, Judge. Everything's good in District 1, almost. We've still got a road to work on, but we'll talk about that. So all's good in District 1.
Magistrate Southern.
Congratulations again. Like Taylor said, you got a day named after you. We've never had that. That's cool. All's good. River's down. Roads are wet. So we just got to keep on plugging on.
Good luck to all you farmers out there.
We need it.
Yeah, hang in there that time of year. Magistrate Putman.
Thank you, Judge. Alyssa, are you a senior by any chance? You're not?
I'm a junior.
Just a junior, huh? Well, I was going to say, what a way to end a high school career. Yeah, judge scholar. But it's a great honor anyway, as you've already heard. You know, I always said you got 2 days you can actually celebrate your birthday, of course. Then this day.
2 cakes.
Proclamation. It's named in your name in this county, so you can celebrate. So again, congratulations to your family. Looks like everything's moving in the right direction. So, Judge, I'd just like to mention the Workers' Memorial will be this Sunday at 2 o'clock in Central Park. Sheriff Chip Stauffer will be our guest speaker. Providing it's not raining, it would be moved to Tri-County Council of Labor. And again, Ellie's gone, but I was wanting to welcome her to our Tourism Commission. And all is good in the 4th. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Evans.
Judge, just quickly, like they all said, congratulations. To get picked out of the entire school is kind of awesome. So celebrate it. Enjoy your day. Other than that, Judge, all is well in the county attorney's office.
I look forward to going to Cracker Barrel, a favorite of mine as well. So we will talk about that. And as Kyle said, it's a large school. Henderson County High School is a large school. So to be, highlighted among all your peers at school is quite something.
Congratulations. Big deal.
Well deserved. And I know our high school is awesome and under great leadership and getting better. So you're among the best of the best, no doubt about it. we'll see you in a minute here for lunch. Want to remind the court and anybody watching that our first budget workshop will be, I think we have settled on May 8th at 2 o'clock here in the fiscal courtroom to take a first stab at going over the budget draft that I'm going to send to the magistrates May 1st. And that'll give you a week to kind of digest it. I'll have some comments on what I give to you on May 1 to kind of explain some of the directions and some of the reasons for adjustments in the budget that I hand you. But everything is on the table when we meet on May 8th. Every line item, every project, all that stuff is going to be subject to us coming together of one mind. And as you know, later in May, we will be getting the recommendations from the panel of folks which we trusted United Way with, and a couple of our magistrates who worked on that hard, diligently. I appreciate it. They'll be getting us their recommendations before possibly a second workshop later in May I know we'll have to have a workshop later in May because we'll have to plug those into the budget and make sure everybody agrees. And then hopefully the second fiscal court meeting in May, we'll have first reading of the budget. We will have agreed, and we'll have first reading of the budget, and that will enable us to have a second reading and vote on the budget by a normally scheduled meeting in June. However, if that gets delayed in any way, if we want to take more time, we can. Our one legal requirement is to have 2 readings of the budget and finish it by the end of June. So whatever it takes to get that done, but if we can help it, I always like to keep on a regular schedule so we don't have any pressure on us to do something at the very last second. But whatever it takes, it'll take. So be looking for the draft budget on May 1st in your inboxes, and then we'll look forward to convening on May 8th.
Very good.
With that, thank you all for being here, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, Alyssa, can leave.